Good evening. Thank you for tuning in for this episode of the Nightstalker Podcast. Just a quick disclaimer, this podcast sometimes deals with adult topics like violence and religious content that may be offensive for some. Thank you for listening, my dudes, and let's just get right into it. Good evening, and this is the Nightstalker Podcast. I am your host, the Nightstalker.
I'm the professor.
Smokey.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
Happy belated Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, we're late by like a day. Smokey, how'd it go with your girlfriend?
Oh man, I think we're funking right now.
Oh, crap. I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh yeah, it happens.
Oh.
You know, that's relationship for the ass.
Well, on a brighter note, so, Valentine's Day. Everyone, I think, celebrates it to one extent or another. But do you know where it comes from?
Do you know your history?
Yeah. So let me introduce you guys to Scientology. Can't even keep it straight. Couldn't keep a straight face. Sorry to all the Scientologists who might listen to this, but come on. Really?
We do take you guys seriously.
There's like 3 people in the world I can't take seriously. Scientologists, furries, and I guess there's only 2 people in the world I can't take serious. And communists. So, beyond that though, and sometimes they morph into one. Beyond that though, back on point, it's Valentine's Day. Where does it come from? How did it get here?
Didn't it come from the, Saint Valentine? Valentina?
Well, from what I've come to understand is that the Roman Catholic Church, like they always do, adopted
Roman Catholics.
They adopted a pagan ritual back in ancient Rome, which was called...
They got a thing for the naughty business.
Lupercalia? Like Lupercalia, I think. And what this was a festival that happened on like February 15th. That was a it was a celebration of fertility. Don't you dare. Fertility.
There you go.
So, thank you. Nightstalker's had a long week. It was a celebration of that, which meant lots and lots of orgies. And, lots of weird stuff. Pretty much what they would do is they celebrated, what was his name? Faunus? Who pretty much was the Roman version of Pan. Who was the Greek god of
the wilds.
Yeah, god of the wilds.
Is this where the word thong comes from?
Pan?
No,
thong.
Faunus.
Faunus?
Oh, yeah, thong. Like a thong.
We're just staring at you right now, like, kind of in disbelief.
Like the wildness of a thong. You're not envisioning what I'm envisioning right now?
We are
like
aware.
A wild man with like a loincloth thong. Okay. Like a wild woman, with a loincloth thong.
I was going to say wild men.
Yeah. It just came out wrong. But the wildness of a loincloth thong.
Wild thing.
I don't know the history of lingerie.
You make my heart sing.
I don't know the history of lingerie, so I'll get back to you on that.
Man, Google it.
In celebration of him, they had orgies, and there was this tradition they would do. They would sacrifice goats and dogs because of this is what I find kind of strange. They would sacrifice goats and dogs because of they're known for being very fertile and always procreating, which made me kind of go. Not that I'm endorsing animal slaughtering, but I'm like, wouldn't you slaughter bunnies? I mean...
Your bunnies?
Like,
mice?
No, don't bunnies or rabbits, don't they recreate really fast?
Rodents in general.
So, I was kind of surprised when I heard dogs in the...
Well, dogs don't care if you watch them.
That is true. I feel like they do kind of care, but like they're like it's not like a care like don't look at me. Because they do look back at you in a weird way. You know what I mean?
I feel like
cats don't look back at you like dogs.
No, cats don't care.
Cats don't care.
They do not care.
Thongs were around in Africa as early as 42,000
Okay,
BCE.
my Africans. My Africana with the thong. Loincloth thong. You feel me?
So what's on your mind?
Man was coming down from the trees, already had them loincloth thongs on. You feel me? Ready to conquer the world. Procreate and spread, be fruitful, God said. Your loincloth thong.
We're not even 5 minutes in. This is going off track.
This is the second one for the day, y'all. I'm gonna lose by this now. You know what I mean? I'm about 2 in.
He means 2 pieces of pizza.
I ain't been drinking shit.
Oh man. Valentine's Day. So where was I?
They sacrificed goats and dogs because apparently goats and dogs are horny all the time.
Apparently, yeah. So they would sacrifice them.
Well, don't goats got like the big nuts, right? You ever seen goat nuts? Tell me you've seen goat nuts before.
I don't spend my
Google
time.
Google it. Google that shit.
Wait, be careful when Googling it.
Hey. Google that on the low. They might think you're into some weird shit if they see
your FBI agent's just gonna be like, what the hell are they Googling?
You ain't even gotta worry about FBI because Facebook's got it all. Fuck it. It's all out there by now except everything. No need to lie. Ain't no need to lie. But,
Facebook.
Google it. Just don't let your mom, your pastor, some shit like that see. Google it though, and them big ass goat nuts, right? So they slaughter the goats, and the dogs, right? They always get that weird pink ass boner, right? See, slaughter the dogs too. That's my reasoning. That's where I'm coming from. You know what I mean? But like, you don't never see no like little rabbit penis. You know what I mean? So even though the rabbit doing a lot of humping, you know what I mean? Like, we ain't out here sacrificing rabbits. Dogs and goats.
Yeah, so
hey, Smokey's a few in, and he's just off the hip.
Yeah, we're off the books on this one.
Him and his girlfriend is funking, and yeah, it's like that today. I'll play it ain't that bad. But.
So, pretty much, what they would do then, they would have these, festivals, and the guys would run around with whips. And when they would run past women, they would hit them with the whip. And if women would line up for this, because if they get whipped, it's like a sign like, oh, I'm going to be super fertile. Mm. And, a lot of people would, when they would do this, some of them would stay together and eventually get married. Which is a weird way to say you met your wife.
Ceremony, yeah.
Like, how'd you meet your wife? Met her at an orgy.
Shit.
Like, I don't know how I feel about that one. Someone told me.
Nowadays, everybody's like, I met her at Road Map. How did you want me at Road Map? EDC, Burning Man.
Oh, yeah. EDC. What's another one? Coachella?
Yeah. That's like the equivalent of saying, of our parents saying, we met at a Pink Floyd concert or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, we were all at this Pink Floyd concert. Everybody was high. Everybody tried to have sex. Me and your mom met there. Like, oh, okay. I get the context.
Too much information.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I thought you guys were squares. Like, you thought. I was 21s too, so yeah. It's one of those.
I don't know what concert you're going to.
Shit.
Aftershock was a little crazy, though. I'll tell you that.
Come on now.
But, anyways, back to Valentine's Day. So, they used to do this. And when the Roman Empire fell and then came back as the Holy Roman Empire, and they were all about Catholicism, they were kind of like, hey, we can't endorse people just running in the streets naked and having sex. Mm-hmm. So...
repression.
So what they did was... So now to go back even again... when they were having, when they were drafting for war, married men didn't have to get drafted. So a lot of men were just getting married. So one of the emperors, I forget his name, was just kind of like, "Hey, yo,
Claudius II.
That shit gotta stop, huh?
That's
Emperor Claudius II that banned marriages in Rome, and so Valentinus, a priest, priest, he married people in secret so that families can stay together.
Yeah, and then when they found out about that, they stoned him and cut off his head. So, years later, when the Catholics were like, hey, we have to stop everyone from orgying in the street, they were like, what if we change it to Valentine's Day and in honor of Saint Valentine for what he did? And they would encourage people like, don't have sex in the streets. Please, be discreet. So they turned it into a holy holiday, as it's called. So that's really the history. I mean, that's where it comes from originally. Some stuff you associate with Valentine's Day kind of have some roots, like red roses. I mean, roses are obviously very popular as they are.
And roses are red.
Yes, that's right, and violets are blue.
Are they
though? Anyways, so roses are associated with the Greek goddess Aphrodite, who is known as the goddess of love and fertility. And I think her favorite flower is like a rose. So that's why on Valentine's Day in the past, they always kind of would have red roses front and center because it was kind of a symbol, the whole fertility theme. That's why they had those, because Aphrodite was like the goddess of fertility and lovemaking.
Yeah, that's why nowadays in the Victorian flower language, red roses mean love.
Yes, agreed. Yes, they do. What do white roses mean?
Purity.
Yeah.
That's why they're at weddings. I just got it. Nightstalker's only been to like 2 weddings.
Let me Google.
Wait, let's fact check real quick.
White roses.
Pull that up, Professor. Hit it with me.
Fact check.
Young love and eternal loyalty.
Eternal loyalty. Something that's not around a lot these days.
Oof.
Big oof. They're going to throw the black pill at you today.
It is like, what stays white forever? You know what I mean?
Everything gets stains.
It's in nature. We're a lot in the world.
But, not to get all gloomy on you guys.
Lilies mean purity. White lilies.
Oh, okay. So do black roses really mean death, or is that just a, misconception?
Let's find out.
Let's find out, people! So you're Googling flowers and Smokey's Googling loincloths.
Yeah, there's no such thing as black roses in real life, but in fiction they mean... Never mind, it doesn't say.
It's like more of an art piece.
Well, I thought there was... Correct me if I'm wrong, you might know this. Isn't it true that, on maybe not all flowers...
Bereavement, loss, and mortality. If you give someone black roses.
I thought, this is what I heard a long time ago, I never really believed it, but I thought someone said that you can inject something in the seed as it's growing or something, and that changes the color. Something.
Genetic modification. That's just true.
Yeah. So then.
Oh, actually, there could be such thing as a black rose. It's like a one-off.
Yeah, it's not it's genetically
made. They can propagate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not in the wild.
Not even just in the wild, but propagate per se is you could make a mule, but a mule can never sexually reproduce after that. You know what I mean? So they can't, even though making a mule is absolutely possible, we know what mules are, it can be done. It's not, you can't propagate mules, you know what I mean?
You can't breed a bunch of them and think that they're just gonna,
Yeah, so there are probably black roses. You probably have seen a black rose. It's probably
it's a real flower.
It's a real flower. Yeah, it was a real rose. It wasn't like a plastic rose, but there's no fields of
black roses.
Black roses.
Yeah. Okay. So that's where kind of red roses get popularity on Valentine's Day from. Also, hearts in general, because
the basic outline of a heart.
Well,
Or like the shape,
the shape.
the more modern.
I always thought roses were like a love symbol because they have like this thing where roses kind of like when you look at them they kind of look like vaginas. This is like a real thing.
I mean, that's why they call it deflowering, right?
Come on now, I'm not making shit up.
Well, didn't Georgia O'Keeffe make those paintings that look suspiciously
and it was like a huge controversy.
Yeah.
She's trying to paint vaginas
she's
with her
like, no.
lesbian ass,
and they're
her
like,
gay agenda.
and then she was like, nah, they're flowers. But looking at it years later, it's still kind of like, I don't know, fam, still looks like a vagina.
That's the beauty of it. Why are we beating around the bush here? Like,
I see what you did there. No, there was something more to hearts. I'm just, like I said, it's been a long week for Nightstalker. There was something more to hearts. I mean, like, it could have been with the ceremonies that maybe they did something with the animal hearts.
Like a life symbol, too.
Yeah.
Like love is like life is usually a product of love.
Yeah, exactly.
So it ties together.
And
red is the symbol of blood. Blood is like a life thing, you know what I mean? That's why it's not like a blue heart.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, blue heart's not the thing to do. It's red heart.
Mm-hmm. And then something that also is associated is Cupid. Cupid is the son of Aphrodite and Hermes. Or Hermes. Hermes. And, he's seen what he would do is he would fly around and he would shoot with a golden arrow gods and humans to make them fall in love. So he was a trickster.
Technically, Cupid isn't the son of Aphrodite and Hermes. That's Eros.
Oh.
Cupid is the Romanized version.
Oh.
The son of Venus and...
You're right. Venus.
Oh,
you know the Romans. They took over the Greeks and they were like, okay, let's just change their stuff. What's up?
They took a lot of shit.
Yeah, they were pretty much like hippity hoppity. Your stuff is now our property. But I mean, that's really where it comes from in terms of that. Yes, you can say it does come from pagan roots. I mean, it did come from a big orgy day that the Roman Catholics are like, hey, we should maybe tone down on the orginess. Make it more about love.
Almost everything got pagan roots, though. Because, like, shit used to be pagan.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's how the Roman Catholic Church works. They instead of getting, look at Samhain, look at Christmas, look at Valentine. It's just, I'm just gonna level with y'all, fam. It all has pagan roots, and the Roman Catholic Church just went, well, instead of telling them our way or the highway, let's just take it, adopt it, and put our name on it. That's where you get Christmas,
I feel like
Valentine's Day, Halloween.
It's like that, and then some of it is also just like a cultural context, of like blending cultures. You know what I mean? Like you got people that are like used to be pagan, are now Christian, but they retain their old beliefs. You know what I mean? But they're Christian now, so like that's where you get kind of like these like weird mixes. And like when it becomes more and more, and it's just like the way. Like now we all just kind of have Christmas, and we just go with it.
Yeah, but the real thing, we all know what it boils down to now in today's world.
Yeah.
Money!
Money.
Well, I think there was a statistic that showed that on Valentine's Day, between going out and eating and movies and whatever you might do on Valentine's Day, the diamond business, a total of like $18 billion is made on Valentine's Day alone. Mm-hmm. Between all that stuff. $18 billion. Yeah.
That's why I feel like, as far as like the whole business side of like the Valentine thing, I feel like the most important part is to like you gotta like have like family planning and educated. You gotta learn from the home. You know what I mean? Like you can't let these corporations
take over
the fucking rearing of children and have them thinking that like Valentine's Day is now this like huge symbol that it really isn't. You know what I mean? Like this isn't the day that you automatically like show the love that you're supposed to be showing all year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I came from a household where we didn't have a lot of money, so growing up, I was always told it's the thought that counts, when it comes to gifts. You don't have to buy someone the most expensive something to show that you love them. It's just something thoughtful. So, if I knew anyone who, maybe it's their first Valentine's Day with their lover, and they were just like, hey, what should I get them? If I was asked advice, I'd be like, what do they need right now? Like, what is something that might be important that they might need? You know, yeah, you could do something cute, but
Sure,
like,
gotta flex on 'em.
but you don't need a flex.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, just get them something meaningful. You know,
Like a blender.
Damn near. You know what blender? What kind of doors that shit opens up?
too. I love my blender.
Yeah.
I bought it
You
myself.
don't notice how convenient having a blender is until you have one, and then you have to not have one again. You're just like, oh wait, I use the blender for all kind of little shits. You know what I mean?
No, it's just
and it was convenient.
be
too.
thoughtful.
Nice. Like a toaster, like nobody thinks a toaster. You got no toaster. You're like, wait, I got this bread, but like I really don't want to eat the bread. Just like
you want to know what I lost? That then when I had to use without it, I was like, oh man, that did make it easier. A rice cooker.
a rice cooker.
I can cook rice on the stove.
Rice cooker is definitely something.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, I'm just lazy. I haven't gone out and got one.
Rice cooker, but I see the appeal.
No,
I have like 4 at my house.
I feel like that's like a staple
So-
Asian fucking like appliance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just how toasters are.
Nobody
for us.
got time to sit at the stove.
But I thought y'all supposed to be the
rice.
rice masses.
That's why we get the rice cooker.
You don't see the Italians over here talking about pizza cookers. Like they talk
You
about
gotta work
oven
smarter,
baked.
not
You feel
harder,
me?
man.
No, I feel that. Like rice is like this weird thing where it's just like
and it depends on what type of rice you're making too. You got
Yeah.
white rice, brown rice,
sticky rice.
Spanish rice.
Yeah.
You know.
I've been on this rice-a-roni hype lately. I feel like it's like the wave. Like rice-a-roni and fried rice is like the wave. It's like rice with the calories, like it's
Brown-
so empty. You know what I mean?
Brown rice is my go-to for when needing a side dish. Like if I'm cooking chicken or any type of meat, and I need
I still
to
tend not
be
to
with
order
it.
the brown. I'm still on that little.
You don't like brown rice?
Well, not that I don't like it, but I just like I'm not used to eating it so much that I naturally will go to the brown over like.
Well, no, I mean, I do
White
really
rice.
like the white rice, but I bought so much brown rice that I'm still going through it. And when I mean I bought so much, I mean I'm talking like maybe
You still got
like 8 months
bags
ago.
of it.
I got bags.
Like I don't think to get brown rice over white. You know what I mean?
Well, I also heard that it helps with the gains too.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's probably denser calories. You know what I mean? White rice is anything white is gonna be like. Not as good, empty calories, full of bullshit. Anything dark in color is gonna be much better for you.
Why do I feel personally attacked?
I don't know. You tell me. But,
Just kidding, I'm brown.
Well, there goes the mic. That's peaked like 5 times already.
Shit.
Oh god.
Hella peaks.
Oh man, that was
Let's bring it down.
let's bring it down, y'all. Where was I? But you know, for any Christian out there who, you know, it's like, hey, I don't celebrate, you know, pagan stuff. I see your point of view. I would say this: if you're like, you know, what should I do if I don't want to celebrate Valentine's Day, but I have a lover? I would say kind of like what I said in the Christmas episode, kind of in a way, just with Valentine's Day, I mean, like, it's all about love, right? So just show your lover you love them every day. And that doesn't mean buying a gift or, you know, doing something over the top. It just means, you know, it's as simple as just saying them a good morning message. You don't know how many people, like, whether they're already sleeping and waking up to it, or maybe they just got to work, day's about to get crazy, and they get a message just saying, hey, thinking of you, I hope you have a great day, love you, or something.
If you make them know, or if they know how much you appreciate them and how much you love them, then you don't need a Valentine's Day to confirm your feelings.
Exactly, yeah. Like, you know, and, you know, maybe it's, you know, that, you know, maybe it's busy at work, so you don't have time to really go out and take them out to dinner because, you know, you're just working late, coming home, eating, going to bed, you know, you got some activities in the middle of the day as well, like gym or whatever. But, you know, maybe it slows down, not so chaotic, take them out, go to the movie, go to dinner, you know. I'm always viewing it from a man's point of view because, spoiler alert, I'm a man.
Really?
Boy, a full-grown man in this hoe and all kind of extra shit.
So, you know, I always think about a man, you know, taking care of a woman. But, you know, for women, too, you know, a lot of guys right now are, you know, I know a lot of guys right now who we're busy at work. We're trying to get where we want to in life, whether we've just gone out of college or we're advancing in corporations, you know. We come home, we're tired. We don't need you to be, you know, over the top for us. Just a simple, how was your day? And maybe, like, you know, just some affection. That's it, you know? Nothing over the top at all. So, you know, we almost did make this podcast based on relationships, but we didn't think the Love Stalker was a good title. So we switched to the paranormal instead.
Oh, my man.
But, no, it's funny. I always find myself giving people relationship advice, but I don't mind it because it actually makes me happy when I give it to friends and then, like, you know, everything's going good and I'm just like, you know, I'm happy. It's always a good feeling when you see your friends are in a relationship. You see the growth and you know, like, they found someone good who cares about them. You know, like we have a friend who's been in a relationship for like 6 years, 7 years now. And it's like, whoa, what? Got another friend's been in a relationship for a couple years now, and you know, it's just nice when you talk to them and everything's going good, and you're just like, nice, you know? So, hope everything's going well for you, Smokey.
Work in progress.
Work in progress. Everyone has their ups and downs. That's another thing about relationships. You know, everything will have ups and downs, whether, you know, I mean, when you get married, they always say for better or for worse. You know, sometimes there's, you know, whether work has you both busy, you don't spend as much time together, maybe there's a certain, you know, a family member or friend passes away, so, you know, there's some mental stress and emotion you go through. You know, it's just, life is never calm seas. Even when it's going good, you still have ripples, you know? Same thing for relationships, there's always going to be periods of up and downs. It's all about knowing if they're worth it, and just, you know,
being prepared to ride the waves.
Yeah, being prepared to ride the waves. Be patient with each other. Be understanding. You know, no one should take advantage of each other in a relationship. Period. You know, man or woman. You know, no one should take advantage of someone because, oh, they make more money than me. I'm gonna, you know, ask for money all the time.
Because of any opportunity that they might see for personal gain.
Yeah, exactly. If you see a relationship as personal gain, it's just not a good way to look at it at all, you know? And, you know, there's a lot of arguments can always be de-escalated, you know? Sometimes you can come home, you have a bad day, you might not want to talk right away, or you might kind of feel like I want to be left alone, but, you know, don't be rude and just kind of tell the other person, like, leave me alone, you know? Just, you know, maybe come in, be like, hey, you know, I'm take a quick power nap or something, you know, just to kind of decompress. You know, there's always ways to go about it.
Balance between need space and isolation.
Exactly, relationships, it's balancing. And it's balancing between, you know, if you have extracurricular activities, maybe you like going to the gym, you're in the martial arts, you hang out with your friends on certain days and, you know, do certain activities. Maybe you have like a group hobby or something.
Whatever type of thing.
Yeah, whatever thing. You know, it's all about understanding and trusting each other. Like, okay, they're going to go hang out with their friend. Maybe, you know, maybe she has a book club. Maybe you have a D&D group. You know, it's just all about understanding and trusting your partner. Being like, okay, go have fun. I'll see you when you're home. You know? Or when certain people plan trips, you know, like, I want to see my buddy in LA, you know, I'm going to take a weekend trip. You know, it's just going to be me and friends catching up.
Me and the boys,
you know. But me and the boys doesn't equal me and the boys going out looking for trouble or girls or anything. Just like if a girl was like, oh, me and the girls are having a girl night, doesn't mean they're going to go to the club and look for something. There are limitations, though. I mean, like, I'll be honest, if I had people hit me up like, hey, you know, you want to come with us to the strip club, I'd kind of be like, nah, I'm good. One, it's a waste of money. But two, I'm in a relationship. What are you thinking? Like, you know? And same thing, you know, I honestly have to say same thing with girls. If a girl was like, yeah, me and the girls are going to go out to the clubs tonight, you know, I'd be a little like, kind of like, why? Like, I understand you might want to dance. It depends on the club, I guess, because there are some places, because I've just gone into salsa dancing lately, there are some places you go and that's all it's about. It's just all about dancing. It's not like drinks and like, this and that. It's all about you go there to actually dance. And if you don't know how to dance, someone who might know how to dance might teach you how to dance. But if you're going to, like, these clubs where it's like, everyone's trying to buy people drinks to take them home at night, it's just kind of like, why would you really want to go anyways, If you are in a relationship, And, we live in such a strange day and age of dating now with, dating apps and everything. A lot of people have, long-term relationships. I'm not saying they're going away, but it just seems like in the younger people around the age group of, 18 to, 25, 18 to 30, it's just... the dating game is so different now on just many things. I mean, one, how you get a date. Now with dating apps, it's as simple as swipe left or right. And then, of course, I've had people ask me before, some of my single friends are like, I'm thinking I'm ready for a relationship. What would you recommend? My biggest recommendation is this first. Be comfortable with yourself and love yourself first. You don't feel like you need someone to feel complete, because you don't.
You gotta, fill your life with activities that you find actual joy in. You network in a way that you find somebody that's actually into some shit that you find a passion in.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely. And you shouldn't, relationships should never feel forced. In the sense of when getting together, you should never feel like a relationship was kind of forced to happen. Maybe someone liked you. You might not have liked them like that, but you don't want to, be mean and be like, oh, I don't dig you. So now you kind of are in a relationship now, and it's just kind of like, well, where is it really going to go? You didn't really enter with the right intention.
It was for the season.
Yeah, as Smokey just said, it could be a season theme. There's a statistic show that from the beginning of the holidays to Valentine's Day, I don't know if they have a word for it. I've heard it as cuffing season, but a lot of people get in relationships in that time because a lot of people don't want to be alone during the holidays. They don't want to come home and be alone. Hey, mom and dad, yep, still single, So they call it cuffing season for multiple reasons. But, after Valentine's Day, now that the holiday flair is kind of gone, it's no longer Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day, now we're going into the summer. A lot of people start to realize, oh, hey, maybe...
Hot girl summer's on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean...
Fighting on these motherfuckers in my loincloth. Oh,
You feel me?
Yeah, and I'm not going to attack women on this one, but it's been really proven that a lot of women like to get in relationships on that time, take a benefit of getting the presents of Christmas and Valentine's Day, and then, next thing you know, I need space. And then they're gone. And I'm not trying to say there's any guys who
twerking on Tyrone,
doing double monkey backflips on Chad.
Double monkey backflips.
Coach Greg Adams, go check him out. But I'm not saying men don't do this too. I'm sure there are men who take advantage of women who might be, lonely. But it's just been really proven that a lot more women seem to do it. Or at least they're very open about it. Like, I'm going to get this one for the season, Then after that, hot girl summer, as Smokey called it. Gotta go find themselves,
Gotta go find themselves, that's what it's more like this.
That's such a big thing. I gotta go find myself. Like
find what, bitch? What you trying to find? You at the club shaking ass, ain't nothing but two cheeks in a hole, motherfucker. A hole. What you trying to find?
If anyone's listening, if there's any guy out there listening,
I tell you, I ain't never been trying to find myself in no club, no bar. I wasn't trying to find myself, I was trying to find you.
No, that's true.
I'm trying to find myself, bro. Talk about I'm going on a club bender, bro. Like, I'm about to find myself for this little hot girl club bender.
No, I've had
season.
If any guy who's listening who might be single and maybe, been busy grinding, getting that money flow going, career.
Don't be trying to find yourself in no bitch, neither. Talking about you about to find yourself in this new relationship.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have found yourself and then got into the relationship. You feel me?
Yeah, that's a big important point. Before going into a relationship, you should be fine living by yourself. And hey, I'm a guy who lives by himself. Sometimes
Talking about she complete. Complete what? What were you for?
Yeah,
you was broken.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what happens when you fix? This relationship over? Like,
yeah.
What's going on?
Or what if she's not the one and she leaves? Are you just gonna be broken? You know, I mean.
It was for the season.
Yeah. So like, before going into it, you know, you should be comfortable being by yourself because honestly, there's nothing wrong being by yourself. You know. I mean, for the most part, a lot of us spend most of our life alone at first before potentially finding a mate or a partner, you know?
And when discussing this subject, we can get into the merits, the pros and cons, pitfalls of masturbation, and whether that can help a man maintain his sanity and his
primal instinct.
No.
It's not clear.
No. He to keep him from being codependent on these hoes.
Oh,
independence.
His independence. You feel me? His manly independence. That these hoes ain't shit, and that pussy ain't gonna have me doing nothing out of character. You feel me? Is masturbation a tool to help one? You know what I mean? Conquer that. You know what I mean? Deal with that. Conquer that problem. Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things about being...
Does masturbation have its place in one's life? Now, I ain't talking about that crazy 13-year-old chronic you jacking off every chance you get. You coming home, you jacking off. You at school, thinking about porn. Sometimes you be in the bathroom. I know you motherfuckers. I know you little nasty motherfuckers. You be at the bathroom, in the stall, on that new iPhone that mama just got you. The search history ain't got nothing but Pornhub links and motherfucking OnlyFans and Snapchat fucking site. Stop it. You know what I mean?
Thank you, YouTube, for forcing your creators to mark your videos as not suitable for children.
Oh, not suitable. This is not suitable.
Is
do not use the Nightstalker Podcast as child rearing a fucking material, because this ain't it.
Yeah, this ain't it, Chief. This is real life.
So
this
yeah. But by the time he has found this shit, he better have been taught some things before, because he wander into this room with no prior knowledge. You're liable to get lost. It's okay though.
Between the knowledge of Professor and the ramblings of Smokey, yeah.
Shit.
What was that? Yeah, no, I mean, part of it is you gotta be comfortable being alone. And you should be, I mean, I think everyone should have a hobby or what's the words? An extracurricular activity. A hobby. Like, you know,
Interest.
work, you know, this is coming, you know, I work, you know, that 40-hour lifestyle. Actually, a lot more than 40 hours lately. But, like, you know, it's nice to, when you're not on the clock, to have something to look forward to, whether you're meeting up with friends over, you know, maybe you guys have a hobby you do, going to the gym, martial arts, or whatever you're into, you know. And, you know, before, you know, the main thing I think everyone should focus on is self-improvement. You know, going to the gym isn't about to, like, come out like some hype beast, like, check out, you know, the gains and this and that. You know, going to the gym just means staying in shape. Like, all three of us here go to the gym for different reasons. You know, it's not like we all go because we want to be Arnold Schwarzenegger or anything. Maybe Smokey. I mean, Smokey's in the bodybuilding, though. So, Smokey's looking for them mass gains. But, you know, myself and Professor, you know, we're not about the bodybuilding type. You know, Professor's more into, what would you say you're more into?
Well, I go to the gym just to, you know, have something healthy.
Maintain fitness.
Yeah, just to maintain fitness somewhat, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You go for, you know, being healthy, staying fit,
Not
you know.
for aesthetic muscle building.
Mm-hmm. And as for myself, you know, I do, Yeah, I go for my martial arts training. I go for a strength build. I don't go for like I go for strength conditioning, not heavy heavy weights. Only like couple reps. I do like lighter weight, more reps. It's for the strength and to maintain.
Muscular endurance.
Yeah. Exactly, endurance. I do a lot of cardio as well. I'm not worried about doing cardio like, I might cut weight. I'm like, no, I need the cardio. I need the stamina. That's just for me personally. But, it's good to do stuff like that. Or to plan a weekend, whether you want to hang with friends or you want to go out by yourself and take a hike or go see a movie you want. You shouldn't be, especially with going out in public. You shouldn't be afraid to go out in public alone.
I'm so used to being in public by myself that sometimes I don't think it's even healthy. Like sometimes I'll be out by myself and I really just be so okay with just putting my headphones in, moving in my own like little move, you know what I mean? And just like not even worry about the world, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And sometimes I'll catch myself getting looks of like this nigga is moving in like a way that's not so he's not moving with the school officials, you know what I mean? Like stairs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to going to restaurants alone, or maybe I go to a bookstore, comic book store, wherever I feel like going out. Even if people are looking like, oh, that guy's alone, it's just like, who cares? I'm here for me. I'm here to read this book, or I'm here because I really like this place's bazooki. There's no, you should never feel bad being by yourself in public, even if you're surrounded by everyone who's like a couple. And if you're hanging out with friends, let's say you're hanging out with friends and you're the fifth wheel, or the third wheel,
or the seventh wheel,
or the seventh wheel.
I've done that before.
You have actually.
I have.
I was there. There's no reason. If you're hanging out with your friends, even during relationships, it should still be a good time. You should never feel insecure just, they all have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, whatever. You should never feel insecure with yourself. You should always just be going with the flow. I'm just here to see my friends, it should just always be you're going out to have a good time, So before getting in a relationship, I would say you should be totally comfortable with yourself and self-improving for yourself. That's another thing. I've known some people have asked me about gym tips before, and I'm like, what makes you want to get into the gym? Like, what are you looking for? Because there's many ways when you go, I want to go to the gym, there's many different ways, as we all three just said, why you might go. And, but when I hear, I'm trying to, cut some weight, trying to look better for, a female or something, I'm just like, no, don't, you shouldn't go for that reason. You shouldn't go because you want someone to look at you. You should go for yourself.
They will look, and that'll just make you feel good because they're looking. But
and there might be a confidence booster. Maybe you've trimmed up, put on a little muscle. People might, a few heads might turn. This and that. And, it's a nice confidence booster.
Place for cocksucking.
Sure.
Whether it be self-cocksucking or sucking of someone else's cock. Not a place. We have been demonetized. I just want to let you guys know right now.
I don't think we've ever been monetized.
I don't think we've ever been monetized, but
man ain't getting none of this.
Speaking of which, we have a Patreon. No, I'm kidding. please support us. Joking, but I don't know. I just feel like looking at today's young men. Especially with the MGTOW movement going on, if you haven't heard about that, men going their own way, it just seems like there's a lot of men who are lost in terms of where they fit, in terms of society and...
male guidance.
Yeah, no, a lot of male guidance has,
either been, taken away or it's been, explained away. That wasn't actual male guidance.
Yeah, that was toxic masculinity or something.
It was toxic masculinity, or it was only good because of this. It was a fluke, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This isn't all. This is the exception for men, not the rule, or not the norm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas we need to embrace some of these things. You know what I mean? That's what makes men special. That's what the things that make men special and that men can do that women don't are what in fact make women special, because they know what I mean, to counterbalance. It's not like we one upping you. It's like we do things, and then like you do polar opposite, but you know what I mean. Needed it has its place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously women give birth, right? They can create life inside them. And I don't think that's something that can ever be taken away from them. It's something that is what makes women special. You know, the fact that they can create life. Now, obviously, men are needed to start that process. You know, it's not like they can just, you know, if they're asexual, they can just, or not asexual, reproductive.
Asexual, yeah.
Yeah, asexual. Oh, right. Bam! You know, and can just do it themselves. They need, obviously, a partner, a male, to complete the process. And, but, you know, what I've heard in some of these, you know, I've heard some women like, well, I can create life, so we're better than you. I'm just kind of like, well, one, you need us to do it. But then two, why do you need to be better, you know? And, you know, I'm not saying any guy out there who's like, oh, I can bench press 500 pounds, I'm better than any woman. It's just like, okay, maybe we're stronger. We can be naturally stronger, you know?
Bench pressing isn't even like, that's not applied weight. Like, you can lift bench press heavy, but you can be trying to lift something, not, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it doesn't mean you could just lift a
so let's not
200-pound fridge.
Yeah. So you could be delusional by thinking that heavy bench press is really anything. That's aesthetic muscle building. And aesthetics is really just for aesthetics.
Yeah, and what I'm trying to say on that is, it's not like just because, you know, men might be naturally stronger or faster doesn't mean that it's like, well, we're better than, you know, a guy saying, well, I'm better than women. It doesn't make you better. It's like, well, why do you gotta go off that angle, you know? You know, just because we might be better at certain things or can do certain things the other can't, doesn't mean we're any more better than the other. But, I mean, my point I was trying to make earlier, you know, I see a lot of young men are kind of lost in today's scene, and it's because, you know, this isn't, before anyone says, this is a misogynist or anti-feminist theme. This is a society. You know, you have so many younger women who are really being handed fiends. I mean, I know you made a joke about...
roles of both male and female.
Yeah, well, I heard you say something about fans only, which, it's like, you can now be a woman and kind of have like, hey, donate to my Patreon or fans only, and get this, not do anything explicit for it. It's not like you gotta, you know.
I feel like that's not so much a new thing, but like the level that it's on.
The level it's on now, though, is what I'm talking
like
about.
The way that it's soaked into just like the perception of society that kind of like that the aesthetic, like I feel like physiques and like body types, certain body types have always been more prized and more like, you know what I mean, seen as like this is the ideal body type. That's not a new thing, you know what I mean? Like fucking there's biology that backs up why people like big asses and bigger boobs and like long hair makes you look healthy. Like, you know, I mean, certain things.
Wide hips makes you look more fertile.
Yeah,
you know.
But I feel like the whole thing right now with that social media is doing is that it's making the aesthetic of certain body types appear to be like things that they are not. You know what I mean? And how it's just like these are like surgeries that are making these bodies like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, real, like, so it almost makes it just like, I see certain things, and you see this in guys too sometimes, but a lot of, especially in women, I see females that look, because of the surgeries and shit that they've got, they look so well developed. They look like somebody that works out a lot all the time, and that somebody that kind of would live an exercise lifestyle.
Yeah, you think they're a health junkie or something.
Yes. But really they're not. So they kind of can have this perception that that is what kind of healthy is. This is what I need to go towards. You know what I mean? But really you're not valuing like what that body type actually does. You're just valuing the aesthetic.
Yeah, no, there's many. I've seen a lot.
Like, I feel like strong men would be more impressive when you used to go see a strong man actually lift some shit. You know what I mean? Versus seeing a strong man just a bodybuilder pose on stage.
You mean? Yeah, no, you're talking strongman versus bodybuilder.
Yeah, and I feel like that's like a more kind of archaic breakdown that like where you don't have the whole social media technology, but like it's kind of like an example of like, okay, like we're more so appreciating our basis and why we appreciate this body type is because of what we kind of think this body type can do, but it's not really doing that today. It's really just a kind of like being propped up and made to look a certain way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's got a lot of people kind of fooled into thinking certain things. And even in men, like, like, a lot of guys thinking that, like, you can achieve certain body types naturally, you cannot do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, like, what that kind of leads to is, like, people not honestly and openly talking about steroid use. And, like, when you do have kids that kind of do figure out that this is out there, they do it unhealthily. Because, like, it's kind of a taboo topic that you're not supposed to really talk about, but, like, is so obviously out there. You know what I mean? So it's just like when we start to value the aesthetic over what really is going on, it kind of dilutes our whole understanding of what's going on in the whole shit. You know what I mean? So it's like now instead of being like you got these strong men and like certain shit where like, okay, we know these guys take steroids and like this is what they do to be able to achieve these feats of strength. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more so like I'm taking this to look this certain type of way, so it's like it kind of like the whole understanding of it kind of changes because of that. I think. You know what I mean? Like it kind of makes it to where like you got a lot of people that don't openly say like, oh, well, this is what I'm taking to look this way because of how promotions and advertisements work and shit. And like I think that it really like kind of when I talk to certain people like about professional sports and whether I think steroids and PED should be let into professional sports. Sometimes I think yes, because like these are top tier athletes, and I feel like because the idea that steroids has like kind of been associated with how people look and like the bodybuilding scene and the aesthetic and the whole misunderstanding of steroids and like this whole misunderstanding of fitness has kind of led people to think that steroids are like this like super cure all or like some type of magic key or like that it really ain't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And kind of why it has this like black sheep effect in pro sports, you know what I mean? Even though it's widely being used in pro sports. I'm very off topic right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say
and it's getting late. So I'm finna just like got it. And we're gonna go on to something else.
Yeah, I mean, no, just back to modern day relationships and stuff. You know, I know we're talking about, it seems like people are kind of lost, and like, it seems like a lot of things are going on. A lot of what's the word? It just seems like there's like a big ego these days that like.
Just a big misunderstanding.
Yeah, big misunderstanding. And I mean, we've in a way almost been conditioned into it. I mean, look back in the 90s when the R&B scene was big, all the love songs that came out, kind of always talking about, you almost essentially you're putting someone on a pedestal. And the problem with that is when you put someone on a pedestal, now they look down on you.
Like they misunderstand love.
Yeah, you should always in a relationship be equal and you're putting in the same amount of work. You guys are 50-50 and you're both equal. It should never just be, you should never like have...
There could be periods of where we lean on certain ways, but like...
Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, obviously, let's say someone loses their job in the relationship, so they're gonna need some help, so they're gonna lean on you a bit. You might need to help them out while they look for another job or something, and that's okay. We're in a relationship. You're there to help each other out for the bad times, but if they get another job and then they're still just like needing money from you for features like, whether it's gas or food, you're just kind of like, you have a job. Like, why do you need me to help you with just something so, or, something I always hear, someone will always joke that, well, I'm the good-looking one in the relationship. I don't like hearing that.
Yeah, you're good-looking right now.
Yeah.
You might not always be.
Well, not just that. It's just
that's the aesthetic value.
Yeah, but it's
what is the word? You feel me? You see how I did that right there? My man, come on.
I just don't like that because it's like, what? So are you saying you're better than your partner? Like
or that your aesthetics have any real value?
Yeah, exactly. Looks can always fade away. I mean, like we're all young right now. We won't be forever. And obviously the goal is to keep
don't
up on
off your youth either and try to think you're gonna be player forever.
Yeah. No, I mean, like...
Because it will not happen.
Yeah, I mean, like, guys right now who might have high metabolisms, but, you know, they don't... Maybe they work out a little bit, but they eat like crap and stuff. That's gonna go... It's gonna get harder one day to get gains. Yeah. You know, you're gonna have to diet. And as for girls who... You know, their looks are getting them free drinks and stuff like that. Yeah. You're gonna hit a certain age where now the young girls are rolling to the club who are 10 years...
I don't know what it feels like.
You're 10 years their senior.
But, like, you want to see a man break down and not feel like he ain't the man he used to be. It will happen when that nigga gets old. And you better hope he got a good woman backing him up to let him know he really all he can be. Because them aesthetics ain't doing what they used to do for him and for no more. You feel me? Yeah.
That's why health and fitness is important for everybody, you know, because it does get harder.
Yeah. That's the value I definitely saw when I started exercising. It was like, okay, I like the looks. I like how good I look. I like the looks I get when I look good. But most of all, like, I love this feeling that I'm getting inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would, like, almost value that even more so than, like, the looks that I get from others. You know what I mean? If I had to choose, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, somebody said, okay, you're going to have to choose either A, you're going to have to always be in a heavy jacket. They're not going to see no definition, but you're going to look great. Or, like, it's going to be, like, you know what I mean, guns out for the girls, but you're going to go through periods that, like, you look good, but you can't maintain it for whatever reason because your discipline ain't there. Because it ain't really there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely choose to never be seen and have the discipline to really have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What would that really do for me versus, like, the looks that I get? Because, like, that's kind of getting overvalued right now. Aesthetic.
No, it really is. I mean, you just go on Instagram alone and you see how it's just all aesthetics, you know? And, you know, and, you know, something else for any single person that might be listening who might, you know, when they're on social media, you know, they might see couples and this and that, and they'll be like, oh, I wish I had that, you know, here I am alone, maybe just got off work. One, social media, everyone's going to post the best thing that's happening to them at that moment. If they just took a trip to, you know, wherever, they're going to post it. They're going to post lots of pictures, and I'm so happy, and this and that. But don't let that discourage you from yourself being happy. You can go do things that make you happy, even if it's not some big trip. Or you save up for your own big trip.
On social media for it to really happen.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not on social media at all. And, like, if I took a trip... But if I took a trip somewhere, you know, I might not be posting it, but I get to live in the moment and be happy about it. I can tell my friends when I get back or my family. You know, I'll still take pictures, you know, depending on where I'm going. But, you know, I don't need to validate my happiness through posting it on, like, social media and be like, oh, look at me, you know. And then another thing, too, you know, a lot of people who might see these couples on there, like I said, couples go through ups and downs. It's not like they're going to post all the down stuff. There's always ups and downs. And if they are posting the down stuff, like some people do,
some
that's
people
just
have
weird.
this, like, thing that, like, you should never post bad shit on social media because that's just taboo. But I'm like, okay, I feel it because it's like we're supposed to be professional. But, like, I feel like the whole premise and idea behind social media is that, like, this is supposed to be the real you. And, like, you're sharing the you with the world, and, like, you're allowing people in to see a you that they wouldn't be able to see had this tool not been available. So show the real fucking you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna be ashamed in real life and act like, oh, well, like, I gotta fake it for the boss or some bullshit like that, and, like, I'm trying to, like, finesse my way in there. I mean, if you gotta live that type of lifestyle to get your foot in the door and what it is, do it, what you gotta do, but, like, I hope you fucking find some way to sleep at night and you're happy with yourself at the end of the day. That's what it's about. But, where was I going with this? Yeah, post the bullshit. You feel me? Like, I feel like if you're gonna be all like on social media talking about how good and like smiles and all the shit, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta like be over with the bullshit, post the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like if you got somebody that's like gonna be like when we're talking about like exercise and shit, like if you're gonna post like how good your physique is looking right now, like post like, oh yeah, and I have this injury that's still fucking with me. I gotta adjust my workouts in this way because I deal with this injury. And if anybody out there also deals with this injury, this is how I fucking obviously through my. This is where I feel like aesthetics has its place. Is that like aesthetics could show somebody that like that the hard work is there. You know what I mean?
the aesthetics have to be backed up. You know what I mean? The aesthetics can't be just like not be able to be backed up. You know what I mean? Like you can't just be showing aesthetics and then standing on that. It's like, oh, it looks good, so like take it as that. You know what I mean? It's gotta look good and be good. You know what I mean? Like it's gotta have applied sciences. And so like fucking you can't just be willy-nilly talking about you got all this wisdom, but you go into the real world and shit ain't working out the way you thought it would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like fucking
Or you know, I mean, I'm not. There's people out there who really like to flex on social media. Like some people post just straight up cash.
It's just straight flexes.
Yeah.
Oh, everything.
Yeah, like look at all this cash I got.
Flexes,
I just bought this Rolex. You know.
The only time I'm posting is a flex.
Yeah, it's just posting when it's flex. It's like, well, post me when you're broke or something.
Ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
Ain't doing nothing when you're at home on a Saturday. And fucking,
you got all those
lonely,
I want to see all your credit card bills.
You
know?
feel me? When
let's take a look at that.
When you wake up and you ain't looking so hot and fucking, you feel me?
Oh, that's the best. Girls woke up like this.
You
like,
know,
you have eye makeup on.
Get out of here. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, I be at the point right now where, like, I'm such a, like, because do you see my people do watching my like certain shit that I post and shit like, but I'm at the point where like I just be posting shit, throwing it up there, and I don't give a damn. And I routinely get hits talking about, oh, like change this or do this differently, whoop whoop whoop, and I'm just like, I don't give a damn. This is the me you're talking to. You feel me? Like,
would you like us to link your Instagram in the bio?
No. My shit is still on private. I ain't that like fucking so full of myself that I just got my shit all public just for like anybody to see. Like it's like good like that. Like I gotta vet these motherfuckers to see into my life still. I do got fucking boundaries. It ain't fucking that going, but fucking what is our topic? Relationships. So
pretty much.
I feel like if you're gonna be posting all this bullshit about your relationships, all willy-nilly good and all the shits, right? All the shits. You damn near. Maybe not on social media, but in real life, you gonna have to be real when shit ain't real. When shit ain't good, you know what I mean? Them motherfucker, like, we was having hard times last year. You ain't gotta be, like, in the moment talking, like, oh, man, we fought on the way to this lunch that we're having with a friend. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we were fighting on the way here. Like, you ain't gotta be like that, because then you're just a Debbie Downer. But,
yeah, exactly.
Hey, 6 months ago, I wasn't doing so good. I'm looking good. Oh, I didn't even know. Yeah, you guys held it together good. I know, but it was hard times, bro. Let me tell you, had I not had these tools and this avenue, this resource available to me, we would not have made it. You feel me? Yeah. Like, that's the real, you gotta let niggas know. Like, hey, look, it was not even on me, because it's a 50-50 relationship. What I was able to bring would not have saved the damn relationship. You feel me? Yeah. Like, it is fate and good people and all that to make this work. You feel me? Like, that's what's necessary for relationships. You feel me? It can't just be one person, like, holding the relationship. It can't be one person relying the codependencies. That's what that is. Yeah. See how I just use the terminology on their ass.
The vocabulary.
You feel me? The flex real quick with a little vocabulary. Just to let you niggas know that I do keep my eyes on a few books. You feel me? You want to increase your vocabulary, read real books. You feel me? See the words. Don't just hear them. Fucking. Yeah. You got to be real with that shit. You feel me? When you at your wedding, you feel me, and you talk about this is gonna succeed and this is gonna be the real and this is your life partner. You got to follow that up by saying this motherfucking shit was hard and this nigga wasn't shit when I first met him, but this shit is working and I love it, nigga, and everything. You feel me? All that. It's gotta be real. You can't just be talking like this is finna just be like peaches and roses and 2-3 years later you guys are getting a divorce and nobody knows why, but in reality you guys had all these fucking problems in the background and it just wasn't nobody knowing and bullshit. It was all bullshit. It was a cover up to look good, and that's okay because sometimes kids be involved and there be external forces that be reasons why we be doing the bullshit that we do. But damn, you got to keep it real with yourself at some point. So
Yeah.
I feel like relationships is an avenue where like lies get told and bullshit gets kind of like perpetuated because of the love. You know what I mean? Like love be making you do crazy shit. So
No,
like,
it does. No,
so like
it
it kind of
does.
perpetuates the bullshit and the madness. You know what I mean? So like it'd be like, why are these people together? But it's like it's toxic and it's like I don't know. Like, so it kind of like I feel like the only way to overcome that is to have that like self-realization at some point, whether it be like you by yourself or with like a loved one that just like, hey, like, this is where it is. This is the real, no bullshit. Like, what do I do? Because like I don't know what to do, or like, hey, like I just need to vent and like talk about it and discuss. You know what I mean? But like to just be in your head thinking that it's one thing but trying to present another thing all the time, like it kind of will make you start to live in a false reality. You know what I mean? You'll start believing your own lies, and that's more dangerous.
Yeah.
Even so than lying. You know what I mean? When you believe your own lies. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, people go through ups and downs in relationships, and you should always have someone you should talk to. Just let's say you and your girlfriend had an argument over something. Even if it's not major in the sense of like your relationship's in jeopardy, but let's just say you have a pretty big fight. You should have someone you should vent to talk about it with.
Confidant.
A confidant,
Yes.
yeah. Because you guys can make up, of course, but like. You should
never come to terms.
Yeah, but you should always, have a confidant, and it also helps too because maybe, let's say not when you're in an argument, but right before, like when the tension's starting to build, the voices are starting to raise, maybe then it's like, okay, we're gonna walk away now. You have someone you can maybe vent to, talk to, and then you can come back to your partner, and then. Now you guys are level-headed, it was a silly argument about doing dishes, whatever,
You ever see, though, it would be crazy, though, sometimes I see where, like, one person in a relationship will have that outlet to vent to, and the other person won't, and there will be, like, a resentment will start to build because of that, and, like, it will make the loved one not be unable to see that this outlet that my loved one uses to vent, even though that is healthy and that's what he needs to do so that he's able to come back to the relationship and build. I'm starting to resent that in a way because I'm not able to do that I want to cut that off for him, even though that's so like self-destructive. You know what I mean? Like that sounds like the opposite thing that you would want, but like kind of like the way people was just wired, like they will do some shit like that and like really have it in their mind justified. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I feel like you gotta have them realizations. You know what I mean? Like when you'll really in your head think that like, no, that outlet is the toxic, the source of the toxic energy, and if I could just eliminate that, then like I will get the situation to be the way that I think it should be, and like then I can get him, whatever. I can get my partner to conform or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's just like,
yeah,
I don't think so, Chief.
Unfortunately, in a lot of toxic relationships, the toxic one, both people can be toxic for each other, but let's just say, one of them's more toxic than the other, or is the toxic one. They will do things like cutting off someone from their family, friends. They want to isolate them. And it's sad because usually the person doesn't realize it's happening at first. It's just as simple as, oh, I don't want to go out tonight. Maybe you were supposed to go catch a movie with friends. Oh, I'm not feeling too well. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll just stay in. No big deal. As it shouldn't be. But then, it happens next week. And then it happens again. Now you're not going to a family event for some reason.
That's like one reason why, like, I've had this experience on both sides where I've like been the one tripping off this and been the one tripped on. Like, a big pet peeve I have right in relationships right now is that like if I come into the relationship with certain friends of the opposite sex, of the sex of my partner, because we don't know how people are. So if I come into the relationship with friends of the same sex that my partner is, or if these are even people that I've had sexual relationships with, but because of how the relationship, the circumstances are, we are not in a sexual relationship right now. You know what I mean? I will not allow the fact that we are in a relationship, you to guilt me and try to subvert me into not to cutting that outlet off because for whatever reason. You know what I mean? Because I think it develops into you now thinking or justifying trying to have me not see my family because you think that's an outlet for some type of toxic energy that you think is affecting our relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it started because I allowed you to choose that I didn't hang out with this person knowing that knowing that there was no sexual energy here, but you just being so worried about it because she's a girl, you're a girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
or potential just the insecurity.
Yeah, potential insecurity, potential competition. It's like we should be so comfortable with each other that she could be 10 times hotter, aesthetically pleasing than you.
Mm-hmm.
The aesthetics are not what I'm looking for in a partner. You know what I mean? Like, so like, her aesthetics shouldn't mean anything. We could walk in the room, you could be looking pert, bummy, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and she'd be looking like a dime. That shouldn't really mean anything. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And even if I do, as a man, kind of look at her, you know what I mean? It don't really mean nothing because, like, I'm looking at her for her aesthetics at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not looking at her because I see something of real value. It's aesthetically pleasing. And, like, as a man, like, I like aesthetically pleasing things, but, like, I don't put all my eggs in those aesthetically pleasing baskets. You feel me? So, yeah, like, I feel like sometimes you'll have in relationships where the guy will kind of get, like, either guilted into, like, not... And it will happen both ways. I've done this also. That's what I'm saying. I've been on both sides where, like, I will not want the girl that, like, necessarily go out with some girlfriends that she has because I know these other girls are fast as fuck, and I think that these fast girls are going to influence my girl to be fast. But really, I should be so comfortable with my girl that I know she's not going to be fast, no matter what fast people she's around.
Yeah.
You know
and let's just say for some reason, let's just say she wants to be like that.
And that's how she wants to be, and the hoe gotta go.
And some rewards, then they're not right for you. Yep. You know? Like, if I was, let's say I found...
you gotta let it go.
If I found a girl that, like, I thought was potential wife material, everything's going great, and let's just say I had some dude friends of mine who were like, hey, man, like, you're young, you know, you can get any chick at the bar, you know, this and that. I'd just be like, no, because it's not worth it, you know? And for some reason, there was a girl who I wasn't fully comfortable being in a relationship. Like, you know, I wouldn't want to get in a relationship with someone I wouldn't want to be with anyways. Like, I think something people don't realize when going to relationships is you have to have, like, obviously you guys can have different hobbies and stuff. Maybe I'm into this, she's into that, you know, and that's fine. Everyone's different. But you have to have at least some of those same morals or ideals. Yeah. You know, if you guys don't have that, that's definitely not...
Big red flag.
Yeah, it's a big red flag. If you're very devout in your religion and, like,
or also
she's
if
not...
you're lying about certain, like, your real character.
Yeah, that too.
Because you're trying to be aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to look good.
Yeah.
You don't want to really represent what's real.
No, you should...
kind of might be dirty.
Yeah. No, you should be honest with your mistakes, you know? I mean, when you're getting into a relationship, it's come as you are.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you have to be that same person. Like I said, when you're single and alone and it's about self-improvement, when you get into a relationship, same thing. You should still be self-improving. Now, of course, if you're improving, but they're not, they're doing things that they shouldn't be doing, and it's putting strain on the relationship, then it's time to sit down and talk. Be like, I don't know if this is going to be a forever thing. Because
this is for the season, y'all.
Yeah, here I am.
That's when you got to be right. Look, it's for the season, y'all. Look. For real.
Yeah, no, and you should know what you're getting into when going in, you know?
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, all those people out there, and I know who might be single listening, all I can say is just focus on yourself and the good times that you will have, whether you're by yourself, family, or friends. because someone can always come along naturally.
Bro, they don't pick up on that whole vibe. But
Yeah,
they just gonna come.
exactly. Yeah,
Don't worry.
yeah,
Don't worry. Trust me.
yeah. No, if you're in good company, you'll never feel alone. Yeah. Well, what do you guys think? If you have any relationship questions, you can always hit us up on our Instagram, or email us, or tweet at us. We have our links in the bio, but like I said, it could be for anything. But if you want to talk about relationships, feel free to hit us up. We would
Open fucking books over here, y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just take the time to pick the nigga up and read it.
Yeah, no, we've all gone. I think we've all gone through something, different in terms of relationships. So we definitely would be willing to talk and stuff. So
I mean, we got Dr. Nightstalker and Smokey PhD here with their professional relationship advice.
It's not even semi-professional. Read like the past few photos. I won't tell you what's going on after this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and I mean, you want to talk about drowning in women. We have to beat them off, Professor, when we are just going down this
feel me?
We are just walking.
And the nigga don't even know. He's so oblivious, bro. We're back here doing all this work trying to keep him on the straight and narrow on his way to this fucking doing the work of the Lord, healing small children.
Yeah,
quite literally.
Yeah, what are you guys talking about?
Literally delivering children into this world is what Professor
and we're
does
just trying
on
to
his
keep
spare time.
that happening.
Yeah.
All the while, all these bitches want to do is distract. And it's not worth any of the fucking bullshit.
I'm sorry, I'll just admit it right now. Anyone wants to get with my boy, the Professor, they're gonna have to be an 11 out of 10. I'm talking top tier quality woman. No thoughts allowed. We will nunchuck him into space on Professor's behalf. But yeah, besides that though, you want to talk to us, hit us up on our social media. And with that, if you're in a relationship, good luck with everything. Always remember, take it one day at a time, one brick at a time. And if you're single, don't even worry about it. Either you'll be so happy you won't even realize it, or someone will just naturally come along.
Get out there and mingle, though.
Yeah. You won't meet anyone just staying indoors alone. I'll just tell you that right now. But
there's a time and a place.
Yeah, and when you think, oh, where I meet them, you'll meet them where you like to do stuff. You like going to bookstores, the gym, wherever. Don't go out of your way to look for someone, like at a club. You're not going to find anything good there. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for today. So, hope everyone has a good weekend. Enjoy yourselves. This has been the Nightstalker Podcast. Good night, and good luck.